not too sexy, you're just ignorant.
Welcome to the Know, I'm Ashley Jenkins.
And I'm Gus Sorola.
Could one fighting game swimsuits be too sexy? We always ask the hard-hitting questions here at the Know. Yeah.
First we had Overwatch's Buttgate, and now we got Tekken 7's Bikini Gate. The amount of video game sexiness is too damn high.
And we're not even counting the Sexy Game Patreon, the Sexy Game $90 DLC. There's so many sexy options. Too many sexy options. After some recent controversy about Tekken 7's swim apparel, the game's director is now firing back at the critics in a new interview, calling them, quote, ill-informed. Take that.
It's not too sexy, you're just ignorant. But first, a little bit of background. Last month, Tekken's director and producer, the legendary game designer Katsuhiro Harada, came under fire on Twitter for a couple of choice tweets he made regarding Western sensibilities.
Tekken 7's been out in Japan since last year and isn't due out worldwide until early 2017. As is pretty standard for the series, the game also features a number of seasonal outfits for its characters, including skimpy swimsuits for the ladies.
Only in the summer, right? Seasonal.
Only in the summer, it's seasonal.
The thing is, many of these seasonal outfits also extend to the game's men and even its beasts.
And robots, I think.
That's even the playing field.
Sexy everyone.
Sexy everywhere. Tekken Tag Tournament 2 had swimsuits for Kuma, Panda, Ogre, and Devil Kazuya, for instance. They're equal opportunity in their sexy outfit treatment, so why should only ladies have all the fun?
They shouldn't. Dudes can get down.
Yeah, point like to the D.
D. That's my dick. However, it seems like maybe it was determined at Bandai Namco that bringing the outfits over to our prudish shores might not be the best business move. Not all the ladies want people checking out their dicks. Because when Harada was asked if the swimsuits would get a Western release, Harada apparently replied, "Ask your country's SJWs. Ha 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 ha."
You did one too many ha. One less ha.
Ha 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 ha. Ha.
There you go. As you can imagine, the now deleted tweet didn't go over so well. Harada later insisted that his tweet was meant to be a joke and that it wasn't directed at all women. Eventually, he did apologize and also left open the possibility the swimsuits might get a Western release as DLC.
But the internet rarely forgives and forgets, though the damage had already been done by that point. Harada received loads of criticism, with some people even going as far as accusing him of drumming up the controversy on purpose in order to justify selling the swimsuits as separate paid DLC.
Genius.
Yeah.
Which brings us to now, when Harada is taking the fight to the streets with some new comments made to Eurogamer. Yay!
Go Eurogamer! Eurogamer sat down with Harada at Gamescom, which is going on now, asking him about the swimsuit snafu. Did he put his foot in his mouth and say a bunch of over-the-top sexist stuff? Actually, no. In fact, he was pretty reasonable about the whole thing.
About the game's criticism over the past few months, Harada said, "But I guess one of the things that's most frustrating is just that a lot of these criticisms are very ill-informed."
There's that word.
There it is. The problem is that people who are Tekken fans, they say something about the game that's critical, and it's not bad because they know the content of it.
Harada went on to say, a lot of times, the swimsuits was a good example. People who don't even play the game, they maybe just hear that there are swimsuits in it, and then they say, whoa, you have these girls in sexy swimwear. What's wrong with you? You're such male chauvinists, etc.
Harada certainly has a point about the way these things tend to play out online, and we all know this isn't the first time. We've seen it in recent months with two very different examples.
Team Ninja and Tecmo Koei's infamous Dead or Alive Extreme 3, the beach volleyball and boo physics simulator, was likewise declined a Western release. On the game's Facebook page, one social media manager, who may or may not have a job anymore, laid the blame at the feet of all the controversies surrounding how women are treated in games.
After tons of accusations regarding censorship from the internet, Koei Tecmo America eventually released a statement that this was just the opinion of one employee and not the overall sentiment of the company itself, but it still won't be coming out in America for whatever reason.
Reasons.
Sure.
However, the developers have announced that they are updating it for PlayStation VR, meaning you now have at least two reasons to get a PlayStation VR. Edit.
Oh, I thought you meant
No.
Oh, okay. We also had the recent kerfuffle with Overwatch, where one fan in particular claimed that Tracer's butt pose was too sexualized and didn't match the overall character Blizzard had created.
Blizzard's response to the beta thread that completely went off the rails was to remove the butt-tastic character pose, not necessarily to avoid controversy, but because they said they agreed with the original criticism and had already had multiple internal conversations about it.
Did you say butt?
But...
So this isn't an issue that's getting more and more attention these days in a number of different genres, and developers seem to be responding differently to it. While Harada's responses come from a different standpoint than Blizzard's, he's making some really great points here about the reactionary nature of the internet and how people love to comment on things without any context.
He also makes a valid point that much of this criticism is coming from outside the community itself rather than its own members who have experienced previous games. That's one of the important things that separated the Overwatch criticism. That came from an actual community member who had no problem with characters having sexy poses, just a problem with with Tracer herself having a sexy pose because they didn't feel it reflected the character properly.
And for better or worse, Blizzard responded, but not many interactions like that happen online. If Tekken's longtime fans are welcoming and accepting of these kinds of outfits, again, for all characters, male, female, or animal,
Or robot.
Then what exactly is the harm?
Turning a critical eye to how the industry handles diversity or gender in games is important, but just like we argued when we reported on the Overwatch controversy, that doesn't mean you need to stamp out sexuality altogether. And that seems more like what's going on here, where everyone in Tekken is being treated with the same broad brush.
Plus, recent studies have also shown that overall depiction of women in games has drastically improved. And again, Tekken's community itself is fairly diverse, and they've been more than accepting of all the costumes over the years.
And the seasons. As Harada notes, the context of these games is particularly important. Tekken has always had a history of totally ridiculous outfits for all of its characters, so why would they stop now?
And this isn't the case that we normally see in fighting games where only certain characters have ridiculously skimpy, impractical outfits. These are alternative costumes applied to everybody.
In addition to all that, the developer has shown a great deal of sensitivity around other cultural issues in the game. For instance, when designing Tekken 7's Saudi Arabian fighter, Shaheen, they consulted with fans on social media, especially Saudi Arabian fans, in order to make sure they were doing things respectfully.
So that does show that they're listening to people and listening to their fans in particular, and if fans keep wanting sexy panda swimsuits, then more power to them.
And really, who win?
That sounds awesome. So win-win.
Win-win. So what do you guys think of Tekken 7's Swimsuits and Harada's response to the haters? Let us know in the comments.
For future updates on video games that are way too sexy, like this video and subscribe to the know.
Spoiler, they're not too sexy, you are. Yeah. Boobs. And pandas in bikinis.
Sexy robots, right?
And sexy robots in bikinis.
That just goes to show that gender isn't binary.